Um, where were we? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, you were talking about. I forgot what you was. Oh, there you go again. All right. For the most part, y'all are being respectful. A couple of you are being not respectful, but we always gonna have to have both sides on here. You just gotta be respectful in your disagreement. So far so good. Or at least I missed your comment if it was absolutely out of pocket. Let me see. All right. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's the speed because you're on your phone, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes the speed and all this being on all this long, the speed is a factor, so it slows you down. Plus, I'm pretty sure that they throw in some monkey wrenches in there because they don't
Yeah,
want
because I sure was saying that the Masonic lodges know who I am.
right.
And they didn't made it clear that they knew that I was here and that I was coming to clean this shit up. And they've told other people who've in turn come back and asked me, is it true?
Really.
Yeah. And those are card carrying Masonic brothers of good standing in the lodge with a good reputation among the brothers of the lodge and the people in the community who've been in the community being active workers in the community. So I know they know what they're talking about because other than listening to my videos, and I don't be talking a whole lot of Masonic stuff, but I'm they dread.
Okay.
All of the ones that corrupted the lodges, because the lodges used to be rites of passage programs for the princes to learn how to rule and govern the people on the land, and it were all used and weaponized against us by some slimy, dirty, underhand players from the back rooms. As Farrakhan say, a few of you in a few smoke-filled rooms making decisions while the mainstream of the masses, poor, black, white, red, yellow, and brown, are suffering in this nation. Them the ones who know who I am that don't want me to be here. But it ain't
Mhm.
nothing they could do about it because I'm protected by forces beyond their reach. So I don't care. I walk down the street like a regular person because to me, I'm just a regular person. Not until somebody asks me the questions about the redemption of the community and the information come out that they find out this ain't no regular motherfucker right here. There's something strange and different about him because he know what's going on and he's doing something about it. And he don't care what we think. That's the problem. I don't care what the people who's in adverse think for one reason. They don't know what I know. And
True.
if they don't know what I know, and I say, okay, well, since you think I'm wrong, I'm going to quit, then we ain't going to never get nowhere. Right? So I'm going to keep telling the truth. I'm going to keep pointing at these dirty, dirty players until they all get drug out in the open. But we already at endgame now. See, Big Mama gave me a mission that as soon as I got done with the mission Big Mama gave me, you called me. That's not a coincidence. That is a coordinated attack from the spirit for us to
Mhm.
do this and to tell the people to update across the land. Big Mama
Absolutely.
sent me on a mission.
That's right. And
My mission was successful because I told her I didn't give a fuck what she needed me to do. If it's going to fix the problem, if it's digging dog shit with my bare hands to get to the solution, I'm going to be a digging dog shit, scooping ass. Because it's fundamentally wrong and repugnant to who I am to see the people suffering from people being selfish, greedy, naive, and senseless. And if I got good senses, then that take me out of the category of the senseless. And if I ain't naive no more because I see what's going on, that take me out of the category of the naive, which tells me I'm not poor and defenseless, right? Which tells me that I can say something out in the open that contribute to us recovering from this condition that we've been in that's adverse to us as a people. In the Jubilee year, at the close of the age, after the contract been closed a minimum of 3 years, the people shall receive their redemption rights in the public domain. So this becomes a public notice by default from Big Mama saying that she want all her daughters to get their shit because she sent her baby boy in there to get it and he left no stone unturned. And so now whoever they is, whatever lodge they hiding in, whatever secret society they under the covers of, whatever back room they dealing in, ain't nowhere to run and ain't nowhere to hide. Cause Big Mama sending them boys, Mama's boys, the real ones, to come get your ass, because we know who all of the dirty players is, because we had enough time to study their moves. It's just chess. Checkmate, motherfuckers. That's how we say it. Big Mama say checkmate. It's over. I'm not gonna leave no stone unturned. Where they all flipped over, ain't none left in the creek. They all on the bank now. So since they all on the bank, we might as well break the bank and bring it on home. So I don't want that until all the man got all of theirs. And once they all paid, run man. So I had to go through the process of the refining of the information, the clarification of the misunderstandings, the showing of the misdirections from the David Copperfield show, which your earrings made of copper, to realize that it was just an illusion. And the three sisters talked to the seven sisters, which is a moon flip to a Pleiadian knot, in order to resolve the matter of the Pleiadian light lock that was secured by an Arcturian agreement at the Galactic Council. That we can't get under this shit unless one of us, organics to the earth, figure the solution to the problem by understanding all of the areas of people activity and how to effectuate change. One of us. We don't all have to do it, just one of us. But part of the problem is the one that discovers it now has to be on a Paul Revere ride across the nation. Instead of saying the British is coming, the organics is coming back. They coming back home to serve eviction notice on all of the squatters on the land. That's a knock to Dane Calloway, by the way. Because my cousin, Big Ray, and Ray is the Dane that they give chiefs. They name him Ray, and they name him Son. And the one that they call Big Papa is called the Big Son, because his son is always named after him, and he the little son, or when they call him by his name, whatever his father name is, he the little that. Mm-hmm. So you got John, which is Uncle Johnny, and his son is Little John. Right? So when we know how to read the language, my cousin flipped to me that the life is a game and he who dies with the most toys wins. All you got to do is slow down. You already ain't scared to look in a book to find the solution. Follow that pattern and repeat until you get to the victory lane. My mama said the race don't always go to the swift. Sometimes it go to the slow. So watch the tortoise and the hare. So she flipped me because I always say I'm slow as a turtle. So it's a turtle nation knot off of a gorilla's back. You can't help it. They got to return everything they fucking took. All we got to do is get the message out to our people that it's over as soon as they do what I was forced to do during this beginning of this stuff. Divorce yourself from the fallen system that you get drugged down with it. Most people can't do that from fear. But Big Mama told me, fret not thyself for evil doers. For years I walked through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. Well, I told her, well, not only will I not fear no evil, I will destroy all evil that oppose my ability to impose righteousness across the land. So bring it on if you want to play. I'm a ghetto boy. Make my day. Right? So when we get to the real root of what's going on, I couldn't always tell people what I knew because I needed a way to tell it to them on their own level where they can digest the information and use it to their greatest advantage. The greatest advantage is this process that we are under right now because the sisters started separating themselves from the system July the 4th, and when a sufficient number of them separate, it's over whether the men do it or not. Because we're going back to matriarchal rules, the children first, family first, and the rest of that shit can take a backseat to hell. We don't want it if it's not benefiting the collective.
I think it's interesting that the movie that's coming out, I don't know whether it's coming out is it before the summer's over or in the fall with the Warrior Queens or whatever. I think it's very interesting. Viola Davis.
I haven't seen that movie, Dr. G.
The trailer was coming out. it's not out, but the trailer is like, it makes you like, yes, you know. It to me is it even puts Black Panther on the back burner, because it's like queen. Well, they call them queens, but you know we know what queen means. But it's melanated sisters fighting and destroying, doing exactly. I think it's a metaphor for what needs to happen in the spiritual realm.
Not only is it a metaphor, it's rooted in historical facts.
Right.
Here's a historical fact. When the men couldn't get the job done on the battlefield, the women got the job done. And so just so that people can have a reference to what I'm talking about, research Anne Zinga.
Queen Zinga, yeah.
Research Queen Makita and research the Candace Queens. When they said Alexander conquered the world, when he ran into the Candace Queens, he made a sharp left turn and went into the Indus Valley. He didn't want no parts of that. Right? When the Anne Zinga brother, the general of the military, kept getting his ass handed to him by the Dutch and the Portuguese, she gave him a final warning before a battle. She said, if you lose this battle, don't come home. I'm going to take over the army, and I'm going to show you how victory is won on the battlefield. And he went to go fight the Portuguese and the Dutch. They handed his ass to him. The scout came back that she sent to follow him and said they're getting their ass handed to him. As they was in retreat from the battlefield, she passed them on the battlefield going to the fight. She was kicking their ass so bad they wanted to negotiate. But they wanted to humiliate her by making a woman stand up. She got gorillas for bodyguards. We don't play that. You're not going to disrespect this sister. I be her seat. She can sit on me because you ain't going to look down on her in my presence. Right? So the man becomes a proper support, even in a secondary position. You still got to be the proper support for the sisters. And when we can't get the job done, we have to recognize Big Mama got a group of girls that she sent in at the end as the final cleanup crew, and they tear this motherfucker up with the laws of nature. They're not finna go fight you with their fists. These are the final. You don't want this part to happen, but you will know if it do, because it's gonna be the most beautiful storms you ever seen, tearing shit up, coast to coast, 360 around the globe. Right? It's a hurricane, but it's pink lavender with lace swirl around it. Who's seen that shit before?
That's why they call it what? A hurricane.
But we in the ancient days, we used to call it the most beautiful destructions, because it'll be a hailstorm, what they call gorilla hailstorm, with fist-sized hail balls falling, and it might be lightning in purple, green, and lavender tints of electrical boat in the middle of the storm, and it looks so sweet you don't want to go in, but them hail balls get to hit you, you can't stay out there. Right? But you want to see it, but you know it ain't safe.
Right.
That's how you know when the final wave finally hit, when Big Mama finally turned her big girls loose.
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard the saying, put on your big girl panties?
You're breaking up again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Somebody had called in and interrupted my feed.
Okay. Stop calling him.
But you ever heard the term "put on your big girl panties"?
Yeah.
That's what they all make.
That's when it get real. When it get real, you're gonna have to deal with this issue. Yep, you're gonna have to put your big girl panties on and like
Don't make them sisters put on their big girl panties. Talking about earthquakes. So when they say put on your big girl panties, this way, it's a certain energy that the women lock on to when they dance and they shaking their hips. It's called the sway of the matriarchs. They can make mockery of it in the Dumbo movie. And you see the elephant swaying back side to side.
Mm-hmm.
I actually posted some sisters doing it in Africa, and they all dressed in blue dresses. I think that's on my Morpheus page, but it might be on my Rod Hayes Facebook, because they deleted my other Rod Hayes off Instagram. But the dance is a conjure. It's only to cause earthquakes. And the more of the grand matriarchs, in order to be a grand matriarchs, they had to have a certain amount of prestige as among matriarchs. The men don't rank the matriarchs, they rank each other by most loved, most respected. And the ones who reach the top become Big Mama's representatives, ambassadors to Earth. And when the daughters of Earth is subjugated, they the last line of defense after they send me. And y'all don't want them sisters to come out, because when them earthquakes hit, they don't just shake local areas, they shake land masses. So I got videos already in past where I was talking about the women in the marching of the matriarchs. The March of the Mayors is a 50 sisters conjure that was done in order to ensure that they can't lose. Once they done that, it was over with. It's just a matter of the magnitude of the events is going to cause a certain amount of time for it to come from spirit to physical, because a global change is so huge. The minimum amount of time on the turnaround is 3 years. And that's why when we closed the contract out July the 4th, 2019, it took 3 years for the women to decide to begin a migration away from the old systems around the world. What we don't know in America, and the mainstream media is never going to cover it, is they still watching what's known as the Soviet Republic of China, the SRP. They not in power. The Republic of China, ran by the matriarchs, took over 3 years ago, and I had posted it when it happened because I had to put it in the public domain. So when I tell people I've already reported on, it's nothing new. Every one of these countries now is working on restoring their original matriarchal order. It's just that we the last ones left.
Well, you have a lot of them. Look, I mean, quick wisdom, but you have all these mayors. I mean, like a prime minister. Boris Johnson resigned, and 50. They said ministers resigned all over. You know, the alleged guy in Japan was murdered, allegedly, or maybe not. Maybe it was a show. But all of these, you see, all of these leaders either stepping down or being brought down for some reason or another. I mean, this is a lot happening at the same time. So it is a signal of something, of change, definitely.
Right. So in corporate America, the women is taking over the CEO positions. It's not that the men not allowed to have CEO positions. It's just that they have to first make it a new culture at the CEO position to have the interest of everybody in the company at heart when decisions is made. And women does this naturally. So Mary Barra from General Motors is leading the matriarchal reclaiming of the corporate America from the secret societies that was ruling it. And that's on the corporate side. On the political side, there's key women, all of them not revealed, in political places that's going to be making statements to reveal that the matriarchy is back in control. All this is going to just unfold after we see what happened with the tribunals that's going on with the deep state scenario. All that's got to come out to the public domain. And we going from Pisces believing to knowing in Aquarius. And we at the part now where we beyond the 50% mark of the year.
Listen, I'm gonna see how I can say this because I don't want. I saw a video, and I don't know if it's still on YouTube, but somebody I think either sent it to me, but I was looking at it on my television, and literally they have a video out with the guy HB, you know, the son, and with excerpts from the laptop, and the parts they trying to show it so you don't look, but you can see literally what's going on in that. And I'm thinking, if this don't make some changes, I mean, it should have happened before his father got in, but nevertheless, I mean, somebody has a video out there, like a little music video they're calling it, and they have clips from it. Literally, I don't know if anybody else has seen it, but I saw it yesterday, and I was like, can you hear me? I couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me? Yeah, I hear you now.
Dr. G?
Yes.
Okay. So I've been telling people for about 3 months now, watch the Hunter Biden laptop so you don't get caught off guard. Because it's the straw that broke the bull's back.
It's out.
Once they Once they entered into congressional evidence, that was the public notice that it was going to be the source by which they expose everything. So now they slow leaking clips from the laptop as a indicator of what's to come, and they're doing this because they have to soften up the people so they don't take it so hard when they realize how deep this rabbit hole went for us to reach the bottom and clear it all the way out. The Biden, uh, the the laptop. I'm not going to say nobody's name, but the
Right.
laptop is going to trigger another laptop scenario in a different file out of New York, um, about some child sacrifice that's going to also expose, or it's going to come out in a cross section of information between the Maxwell House trial, which was coded, by the way, just so I didn't get
The coffee shop. Yeah, I got
right.
you.
So her trial and the laptop scenario, or the two laptops, gonna all end up converging at the pizza parlor, if you get what I'm saying.
I get you.
So while they exposing what's going on at the pizza parlor, that's going to be the shock and awe and the last hurrah to give the people the inside scoop. And this is when we going to start having 24-hour tribunal TV showing us all of the people that's been tried and what they've been tried for: crimes against humanity, human trafficking, sex trafficking, drug trafficking, arms trafficking, all kind of stuff from all over the world. You're going to have high figures of society being dirty laundry drug out in the open, because the military strategists say if the incoming king wants to win favor with the people, after he thwarted the conspiracy, he dragged the conspirators out before the people and laid the conspiracy bare so that the people can understand the doom that they were rescued from, and they become supporters of the king as he restored the land and the water and the air. The people not gonna never support you if you don't show them the ugliness that you went through and on the behalf of the people in order to restore everything, right? So while we doing public notices to the grassroots, because that's all we doing with these conversations, trying to educate the grassroots on how to see beyond the charade, to see the show going on behind the scenes. So I had to break it down into what you call bite-sized morsels and throw a couple of colorful epithets in there, because to be politically correct when the politics
We got you. They got you breaking up again. Can you hear me, Rod? Because you're breaking up again. We have ready to close in just a bit, y'all. I appreciate each and every one of you all. If you came in late, because I see a bigger number than there was before. If you came in late and you didn't see the beginning of this video, this interview, I want you to go back and give it another look and share it, because this has been very, very eye-opening, and a look into the life and the background of Brother Rod Hayes, how he has gotten to the place where he is now, because so many people have been focusing on just what he says, and not as many have been, knowing the man behind what the man says. So we appreciate you all for being on here. You're 1,300 plus strong, and that's a good thing. I want you to like, if you haven't, please subscribe to this channel. And I want to say this to you, Brother Rod, whatever you want to finish, try to get it in right now before they block you, and then I'll do they bringing you up. So whatever you were saying, look, go on with it.
Okay, so this is where we at the end game. We really, really, really past the end game now. So what we need to be looking for is a sudden dump of information. It's gonna come all at once, because it's been held back, and it's been seeping out in little clips. So that's like a leak before a dam break. that little sprout of water in the cartoon before it ruptured the whole dam. And you can't